Away from the storm coverage for a moment. Even before that rain came, 6 residents have been displaced after an apartment fire in Amherst. The Amherst Fire Department began receiving calls at around 11 a.m. about a fire in the Olympia Oaks apartment complex. This is just outside of the UMass Amherst, excuse me. When crews arrived, they saw what started as a porch fire began to extend to the first and second floors that caused uninhabitable damage. 2 residents were taken to the hospital for evaluation, and all 6 are being assisted by the Red Cross. The fire is still under investigation, but it is believed the fire began due to an electric bike.